You might think poor sleep is just part of aging. That after 65, waking up tired, tossing and turning, or struggling to fall back asleep is simply how life goes. But what if I told you that seniors in Norway, Sweden, and Finland are quietly sleeping better than many of us? Not with expensive gadgets. Not with pills. But with habits so simple, so rooted in nature and rhythm, they might just change the way you look at nighttime forever. You see, the truth is, how well you sleep after 60 doesn't just depend on your mattress, it depends on your mindset, your rituals, and the relationship you build with the night itself. And in the Nordic countries, elderly people have mastered that balance. While many seniors in the U.S. and U.K. rely on medications or give in to restless nights, Scandinavians are doing something different. Something deeper. And science is finally catching up to their wisdom. If you've ever felt like your sleep is getting worse with age, this video is for you. Before we dive in, take a moment to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below. Where are you watching from today? I'd love to hear where this message is reaching hearts around the world. Now, let's step into the quiet, peaceful world of Nordic nights and uncover what makes their senior sleep secrets so special. Let's begin with a story. Karen, a 76-year-old woman from Uppsala, Sweden, wakes every morning at 6:30 a.m. without an alarm. Not because she has to, but because her body wants to. She falls asleep by 9:45 p.m., without struggle, without aid. She hasn't taken a sleep pill in 20 years. Her neighbors say the same. "We don't fight sleep," she says with a soft laugh. "We welcome it like an old friend." What's her secret? The first thing. Evening light exposure. In most Nordic homes, especially among the elderly, there's a strong tradition of dimming the lights after sunset. Lamps with soft amber bulbs, candles on the windowsill, and absolutely no harsh overhead lighting. This isn't just for coziness, it's rooted in biology. Bright artificial light after sunset suppresses melatonin production, the hormone that signals sleep. But the gentle, warm light that mimics firelight? That tells the brain, it's time to wind down. According to a 2021 study from the University of Bergen, elderly individuals in Norway, who use soft lighting after dinner had 32% better sleep quality than those in cities where blue light exposure remained high into the night. Their deep sleep stages lasted longer. Their cortisol levels were lower. And they felt more refreshed in the morning. Now let's talk about temperature. Nordic seniors sleep in cooler rooms, intentionally. It's common, even in winter, to crack a bedroom window for fresh air. You might think, that sounds freezing. But there's science behind it. Research from the University of Helsinki found that sleeping in a room between 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 to 18 degrees Celsius, helps the body regulate its internal temperature and enter deeper sleep more easily. And this is crucial. Especially after 60, when the body's ability to cool itself naturally begins to decline. Imagine sleeping under a warm blanket while a gentle, cold breeze brushes past your skin. That's the Nordic way. It reduces night sweats, prevents overheating, and allows the nervous system to stay calm through the night. And for many seniors, it means fewer awakenings, more dreaming, and steadier energy the next day. But there's another layer to this secret: evening routines. In Finland, there's a word, iltarauha, meaning evening peace. It's not just a phrase, it's a practice. After 8 p.m., noise in the house goes down. The television dims, conversation softens, and phones are put away. For many elderly Finns, that quiet time isn't seen as loneliness, it's cherished. It's sacred. It's a ritual of returning inward, letting the day settle like snow in a still forest. And this has a profound effect on the nervous system. Because when your environment slows down, your body follows. Sleep is no longer something you fight for, it arrives naturally. Elsa, 81, from Helsinki, shared this. "I drink warm berry tea at 8:30. I read a page of poetry. I turn off all sounds. By 9 o'clock, my heart feels light, and my eyes close without asking." Compare that to many elderly folks in other countries, falling asleep to bright screens, TV noise, and flashing phones. Is it any wonder so many feel restless? And it's not just what they do in the evening, it's what they don't do. In Nordic senior communities, late-night eating is rare. A light dinner, usually by 6 or 7 p.m., is the norm. Heavy meals at night? Not only discouraged but considered disruptive. Because digestion takes energy, and if your body is working on food at 10 p.m., it's not working on repair. Sleep becomes lighter. Rest becomes incomplete. Dr. Lars Ekström, a Swedish geriatrician, explained it this way. After 65, the goal isn't to eat for fullness. It's to eat for rhythm. Your body wants rhythm more than it wants richness. Let that sink in. Now, there's one final piece I want to leave you with in this first part. The relationship with darkness. Unlike many of us who fear the long nights, who fill them with artificial brightness and late-night distractions, Nordic seniors embrace the dark. They accept it as part of life. A time to turn inward, reflect, and regenerate. In Denmark, there's a cultural term. Hygge, a sense of cozy togetherness, often experienced in low-light, quiet moments, with warm drinks and soft words. For the elderly, hygge is not just comfort, it's sleep medicine. So what if we did the same? What if we stopped fearing the dark hours and started treating them as gifts? What if we created our own evening peace, like they do in Lapland or Stockholm? What if we stopped fighting sleep and started listening to what it's been asking for all along? If you felt inspired by what these seniors across Scandinavia are doing differently, let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to bring more elderly wisdom, sleep health inspiration, and peaceful living into your nights, like this video and subscribe. And tell me, where in the world are you watching from tonight? Your reflections matter. We're just getting started. Let's step deeper into this peaceful northern night. In the last part, we talked about light, temperature, and rhythm. But the real magic of Nordic sleep culture lies not just in what happens before bed, but in what shapes an entire day. Because for seniors across Norway, Sweden, and Finland, a good night's sleep starts with how you live the morning. Let's take Juhani, an 83-year-old man from a small village near Tampere, Finland. Every morning at 7 a.m., without fail, he opens his front door, steps outside barefoot for a few breaths of cold air, and then takes a slow, mindful walk around his yard. Even in the snow. It wakes the spirit. He says. And it does more than that. This consistent exposure to morning light, even on cloudy days, resets his circadian rhythm, helping his body release serotonin by day, which later converts to melatonin at night. It's a natural clock, one we all have. But unlike many in the West who stay inside until late morning, Scandinavian seniors build their sleep quality during the first hour they wake. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Sleep Research confirmed this. Older adults who spend just 15 minutes outside, within the first hour of waking report better sleep latency, deeper REM cycles, and fewer nighttime awakenings. Morning light doesn't just wake you up, it teaches your brain when to turn off later. But that's not all. Nordic seniors also walk. Every day. And not just for exercise, but for circulation, digestion, and grounding. Walking is their quiet ritual. Their movement meditation. Not on a treadmill, but in forests, through neighborhoods, on snowy sidewalks. With breath, with presence, with purpose. In Sweden, they call this friluftsliv, open-air living. And for seniors, it's more than a concept, it's medicine. Birgit, 74, lives just outside Oslo. She walks every afternoon at 2 p.m., even when it's dark. I walk to clear the mind, not just the body. And when my mind is clear, my sleep is deep. Her words echo a powerful truth. Physical movement early in the day reduces evening stress hormones. And low cortisol in the evening? That's the secret to drifting off peacefully. Compare that to seniors in urban areas across the US, where walking is often replaced with more sitting, more screens, and more indoor isolation. The body doesn't get tired in the right way. The mind doesn't get quiet. And sleep suffers. Another thing they do differently? They nap, strategically. Nordic seniors respect rest. But they don't overdo it. Short naps, no longer than 20 minutes, are part of daily life for many, especially in Denmark and Norway. They don't feel guilty about it. They don't see it as laziness. They see it as restorative. But here's the key. They nap before 3 p.m. Always. Because if you nap too late, your body won't build up enough sleep pressure to fall asleep deeply at night. It's not just about rest, it's about when you rest. Soren, 79, from Malmö, naps in his favorite chair every day at 1:30. 20 minutes. That's it. No more. After that, he says, I feel light. Not groggy. Not sluggish. Just enough. And science agrees. Seniors who nap more than 45 minutes in the late afternoon experience worse sleep quality at night, interrupted REM, more nighttime awakenings, and daytime fatigue. But when done early and briefly, napping improves cardiovascular health, boosts memory, and enhances emotional regulation. All of which matter deeply as we age. And that leads us to another Nordic habit that makes all the difference: sauna. In Finland, sauna isn't just a cultural tradition, it's a health practice. And for seniors, it's part of their sleep toolkit. 3 times a week, Elsa, 78, joins a small group of women at her community sauna. They sit in silence. Let the heat open their pores. Then follow it with a brief cold shower or a plunge in the snow. After sauna, she says, sleep comes like a wave. A long-term study conducted by the University of Eastern Finland tracked over 2,000 adults for more than 20 years. Those who used the sauna regularly had not only better cardiovascular health, but significantly better sleep quality. Why? Because sauna mimics the body's natural process of preparing for sleep. Your core temperature rises, then drops afterward, mirroring the internal cooling your body needs to enter deep sleep. It also reduces inflammation, relieves joint pain, and releases endorphins that relax the mind. But it's not just the heat. It's the ritual. The stillness. The letting go. And here's something few people talk about. The role of community in sleep health. Yes, community. In many Nordic countries, especially in smaller towns, seniors stay socially engaged. But not in loud, overstimulating environments. They gather in quiet, intentional ways. A knitting circle. A walking club. A tea group. Conversations are slow. Gentle. Often, the same people, the same rhythms, the same chair. And that matters. Why? Because emotional safety reduces nighttime arousal. When you feel seen, heard, connected, you sleep more soundly. Period. A study published in Psychosomatic Medicine in 2018 showed that seniors with strong community ties had significantly lower levels of nighttime cortisol, fewer instances of sleep apnea, and less insomnia. And let me tell you what Eric, an 85-year-old from northern Sweden, told me during a visit. I don't have many people around. But the ones I see every week. I don't have to explain myself. That makes the heart quiet. And when the heart is quiet, the body follows. That right there, elderly wisdom in its purest form. So what if we applied that? What if we built simpler routines? Braver stillness? Fewer social obligations but deeper ones? What if we walked more and worried less? What if we opened the window at night and closed the laptop an hour earlier? The Nordic way isn't perfect. But it's peaceful. And for many seniors, that's exactly what sleep should be. If this video is bringing you new insight, let me know in the comments below. What's one small change you could try tonight? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more guidance on senior health, longevity, life reflections, and inspiration rooted in tradition and science. And again, where are you watching from? I'd love to know which corner of the world this message is reaching. Let's finish this Nordic journey not just with facts, but with something deeper, something you can feel. Because at the end of the day, sleep isn't just a physical act. For seniors, it's emotional. It's spiritual. And that's the final layer of Scandinavian sleep wisdom we haven't touched yet. See, in the Nordic countries, many elderly people don't view nighttime as a problem to be solved. they see it as a transition. A sacred passage from one part of life into another. There's a kind of respect for the night. For what it reveals. For what it teaches. And that starts with the mindset they bring to the end of the day. In Sweden, there's a phrase that older folks often say before bed, "Nu far det vara nog för idag." It means, now, that will be enough for today. It's a quiet surrender. A way of telling the body and the soul that it's okay to stop. That there's no more to carry tonight. That whatever was left undone can wait until morning. That one sentence is more powerful than any sleep aid you'll find on the shelf. Because many of us carry guilt, restlessness, even fear into the night. We bring in unfinished thoughts, regrets, even worries that don't belong in bed. But when you're over 65, those mental burdens don't just disrupt your thoughts, they affect your health. Poor sleep means higher blood pressure, slower healing, greater risk of cognitive decline. But what if one of the best things you could do for your health was simply to let go? In Norway, some elderly people practice what they call kveldslukt, the scent of the evening. It's the act of slowing down with something sensory. Lighting a lavender candle. Applying hand cream that reminds them of their childhood. Breathing in the air from a pine tree just outside the window. This isn't just poetic. It's biological. Aromatherapy has been shown to reduce cortisol and ease sleep onset, especially in seniors. One study from the University of Copenhagen found that older adults, exposed to natural evening scents like lavender and pine slept, on average, 48 minutes longer per night. Not deeper medication. Just a deeper presence. And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all from the Nordic elders. They honor sleep. They don't fear the night. They meet it with care, not control. Consider Ingrid, 87, who lives alone on the west coast of Norway. She told me, "I always light a candle before I sleep. Even if it's just for 5 minutes. It reminds me that even the smallest flame can calm a dark room." She's not lighting it for the light. She's lighting it for closure. For peace. And I think many of us, no matter our age or country, could use a ritual like that. Because modern sleep is full of noise, bright phones, late emails, endless shows. But Nordic sleep is full of space. Space to slow. Space to reflect. Space to heal. That's why so many seniors in Scandinavia don't wake up groggy. They don't fight with their alarm clocks. Their sleep isn't always perfect, but it's respected. And in return, their bodies respond with resilience, clarity, and calm. But let's also be honest. The culture helps. In Finland and Denmark, elderly people are not forgotten. There's a deeper trust in community care, in slow living, in intergenerational respect. Grandparents aren't seen as burdens. They're seen as carriers of wisdom. Their routines aren't rushed, they're valued. And that matters more than we realize. Because when seniors feel needed, they sleep better. When they feel safe, they sleep longer. When they feel connected, even to just a few trusted people, they sleep deeper. Loneliness is one of the most silent sleep killers. But in places like Reykjavik, and rural parts of Norway, elders are regularly included in small group dinners, storytelling circles, or simply morning coffee walks. Not big events. Just regular connection. And that connection brings peace. So what can you take from this? Maybe tonight, you can dim the lights at 8. Brew a warm herbal tea. Open the window, even just a crack. Turn off your devices and light one candle. Not because you have to, but because it says, "Now, this will be enough for today." Maybe you write one sentence in a journal. Or sit in silence for 3 minutes. Or whisper a thank you for the breath still in your lungs. Because that's the real Nordic secret. Sleep isn't something you earn, it's something you receive. Gently. Daily. With gratitude. And whether you're in Stockholm, Sacramento, or Seoul, that kind of sleep? It's possible. If this video has helped you reflect on your own habits, please share it with someone who might need it too. A friend. A sibling. Someone who's been staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., wondering what's wrong with them. Maybe nothing's wrong. Maybe they just haven't been shown another way. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment below. Where are you watching from tonight? I'd love to know. And remember, you deserve peace. You deserve rest. Not because you've done enough, but simply because you are enough. Here's to sleep that heals, to nights that comfort, and to the quiet wisdom of growing older with grace.